Today, traffic management is all about analyzing your city and giving it the right pulse. Guide safely. Get connected. Keep track. Gain control. Stay in sync. Be adaptive. Be flexible. Get automated. Prepare for the future. Go green. Understand your data. Get a seamless traffic flow. Time to step up. Get MyCity.
Dear business partners and friends of SWARCO, dear colleagues, I cordially welcome you live from the SWARCO traffic world at our headquarters in sunny Austria. My name is Richard Neumann and I'm the Head of Communication and Marketing of the SWARCO Group. It is my pleasure to guide you through the next 30 minutes through our webinar. Thank you for joining our third innovation talk in a series of webinars we are offering you over the next months. The main purpose is to keep you posted about the latest innovations of SWARCO in times where we are not able to personally meet in exhibitions, conferences and trade shows. This innovation talk allows you to get in direct touch with us via the chat function on the right-hand part of your screen. Please feel free to send us your comments and questions via the chat. Following the interview, we will answer your questions in a Q&A session. The mobility sector as a whole is going through significant change. Today's speed of innovation does not allow a slow and purely reactive approach anymore. Examples that most cities can relate to are the speed and impact that shared mobility and micromobility had on their operations and on the city's landscape. The title of today's innovation talk is SWARCO MyCity, Holistic Traffic Management for More Livable Cities. I am happy to welcome for this subject the Head of Innovation and Technology of our ITS division and Managing Director of the Berlin-based SWARCO Solution Center, Dr. Christoph Stögerer. Christoph Stögerer graduated in Business Informatics from Vienna's University of Technology. He meanwhile looks back to 17 years of professional experience with a strong focus on technology management. From 2003 to 2013, he held positions within SWARCO Futurit Vienna, among them the Head of Research and Development. Following an interim employment with Kapsch Trafficcom AG, Christoph rejoined SWARCO in 2016. Today, he is the Head of Innovation and Technology of our Intelligent Transport Systems division and Managing Director of the SWARCO Solution Center GmbH in Berlin. As the Head of Innovation and Technology, you are at the forefront of SWARCO's adjustment to such drastic shifts in our market. Can you share some of the vision, strategy and actions SWARCO has implemented in order to support its customers in these times?
So next to the big buzzword digitalization, we see also a couple of other different trends. First of all is the topic of IoT that makes way more sensors available also in the space of ITS, and also hence more data made available to central systems and for the decision making ultimately. Second is also the trend of cloudification, that customers are demanding central systems, or their systems not only being available on premise, but also being made available in the cloud. And related to this trend of cloudification, we also see different requirements coming up. One is regarding cybersecurity, because we are more tied to public networks in future. And the second is also to technical operations, where we need to operate those systems in 24/7 on behalf of our clients then. So how did we put this also into practice in our organization? In order to cope with those market trends, we set up a speedboat called the SWARCO Solution Center in Berlin, which was targeted to very closely with our key clients develop such a future-oriented ecosystem called MyCity. And MyCity should really be our product backbone or platform that is giving our clients better opportunities to make use of this data, to take proper decisions on a micro, macro, and also on a cross-domain level. And so we want to support our client with our domain expertise and with this core product to proactively steer mobility within the urban environment and make the customer journey more conveniently, quicker, and more environmentally sound.
Mm-hmm. That's supporting SWARCO's leading idea. We all know that we are living in a very dynamic mobility world. Some call it the age of digital transformation. Apart from the just mentioned, what specifically are some of the challenges that have led SWARCO to develop a new traffic management platform?
So one of the key challenges is clearly that's also very present in the latest news. The road transport sector is responsible for 50% of the deaths caused by air pollution. A second trend that we see is the growing traffic in city centers, up by 30% over the last 10 years. And the last one is that we also see a growing portion on park search traffic within the city centers, which is already up to 30%. And this is actually also what we want to tackle with our new platform and offer new solutions to our clients in order to better deal with those situations and pain points.
Mm-hmm. I see. SWARCO MyCity is presented as a holistic and at the same time modular and open traffic management platform. Can you tell us a bit more about what holistic means and what the building blocks of MyCity are?
So holistic is very much related to this end-to-end customer journey, as we name it. So just think about your own way to your workplace. So you start out from your home, you go on the highway, you approach the city center, then you enter the park search traffic. Probably it's lower than the 30% I mentioned earlier. You find your parking spot, and then for the last mile you either use a public transport or a micro mobility solution. Yeah? And in order to optimize this end-to-end journey, we strongly believe it's important to really have this holistic perspective and integrated view.
Mm-hmm. So we have heard the main adjectives: holistic, open, modular, standardized. And what are the benefits and the advantages now of this approach?
So on modular and standardized, we also strongly believe that modularity is key when it comes to the scalability of the platform. That we can serve different clients with their specific needs, but also with a standardized core solution on the other end. Yeah? That the UI UX, for instance, is looking the same no matter if you have a small parking garage or if you have a big city with a holistic traffic management system. And so we are not targeting a one-size-fits-all, but we want to provide an open ecosystem that it's following an integrated strategy here. Yeah? And this is also the benefits of the approach that if a small customer, a small medium-sized city, for instance, is starting out saying, hey, in the first place, I want to monitor my equipment, then we are happy to offer this solution to them, but they can still say at the later stage, okay, now I also want to integrate the traffic management piece or a parking guidance solution. Yeah? And this is the benefits mainly on this approach.
Yeah, in Berlin with your team, you follow the approach of a customer-centric focus. You are working very customer-centric. Can you give us some examples of more specific challenges that your team learned of and consequently a city can now solve with MyCity?
So the first example I would like to share is regarding monitoring of installed equipment. As you all know, resource is a scarce good also when it comes to service and operations, and therefore one of pain point of our clients is that they need to keep track on what the status of their installed equipment out there is, yeah, and better understand if there is a failure and how they plan their different service activities out in the field. And in order to support this better, we introduced a product called MyCity Monitor, where we can connect all the installed base to, and this is supporting our client in order to better also proactively plan their service activities and respond to certain incidents that they have out in the field. A second example we learned of is about pollution monitoring. So what city representatives asked us for is if we could incorporate pollution data into MyCity. So this is what we did in the first place, and we presented it in the MyCity user interface in terms of heat maps. So this gives them a good overview on how the pollution status in the city looks like, and in the next also determine certain countermeasures and strategies where we can then adjust signal plans on the one hand, but also reroute the traffic throughout the city using the strategy manager as a tool for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, if air pollution is something you are dealing with every day, or you have to cope with every day, then I recommend that you also have a look at our first webinar, which we did, the first SWARCO Innovation Talk, which was related to AirDeck, which is a sensor integrated into traffic lights to monitor environmental parameters. You can find this innovation talk on the SWARCO website. Christoph, in our innovation talks, we talk about products, systems, and solutions that are brand new, respectively in an advanced state of development. At what stage are we in terms of the availability of MyCity?
So regarding the availability of MyCity, as I said with the initial setup when I was talking about the SWARCO Solution Center as the speedboat developing MyCity, we also decided to develop this in very close relation with our key partners and clients. And so we are happy to say that we are already in the phase that we are rolling out the Inform and Recommend package, which is about the air pollution monitoring in the city of Wolverhampton. And we start delivering a traffic management center to the capital of Switzerland, Bern. And next to this, we are also launching the MyCity Monitor in various cities in Germany. So it's a lot of growing the installed base right now, also further developing the product to the client's needs. And so, yeah, it's a constant evolution that we see in MyCity already today.
Mm-hmm. Fine, yeah. And additionally, I heard that you are about to launch an initiative where you talk about lighthouse customers, or more specifically, strategic integration partners. What is behind this concept?
Yeah, thanks that you are tipping on this point, Richard, because this is also a very important one in our strategy, as I already tried to outline earlier. The lighthouse customers is our partner network with different cities, also road authorities and so forth, that we connect to, where we want to better understand about their pain points, but also pilot our product, that we get early feedback from their side if we really are on spot, if we hit the point, or if there is something we have to adopt as we move on in our roadmap development as well. So this is about the lighthouse customers. And when it comes to the strategic integration partners, it's really emphasizing that MyCity is supposed to be an open ecosystem. So what we are targeting here is customers that are in a certain field where SWARCO potentially does not have its own product in, or where a customer is demanding for a particular product, where we say this needs to be part of the bigger traffic management story and also traffic management ecosystem. And this is where we already try to integrate such partners at a very early stage.
So those cities who are interested in becoming a strategic integration partner, they should have a look at our website, because there we have a part where you can inform yourself a bit more in detail about this initiative and about how to become a partner of SWARCO in this case. Thank you very much, Christoph, for this deep dive into SWARCO's innovative approaches and the MyCity platform. Please stay with us for a few more minutes to answer the questions our audience posted via the chat. Dear listeners to our third innovation talk, we are now moving on with a Q&A session. You are invited to send your comments and questions via the chat function of our Vimeo stream. I would like to welcome all participants who are from overseas markets, because we timed this webinar at quite a late hour in European standards. So I'm sure that also our colleagues from McCain in California have joined this webinar today. So as far as the incoming questions is concerned, I don't see any so far. Please take your time to write your comments and questions into the chat. In the meantime, I will bridge with a question I have prepared to ask Christoph. Christoph, can MyCity integrate hardware that is not produced by SWARCO?
The short question is absolutely, Richard. Because as I said earlier, MyCity is designed in a way that it's an open ecosystem, and what we are also clearly aiming for is to be vendor and device agnostic. So we want to be capable to fulfill our clients' demands and needs, also when it comes to an installed base of different products that are already out there, or new devices of his choice that he wants to integrate.
Mm-hmm. I see. And for sure, Christoph, you know that some cities face very unique challenges. Will you also offer customizations to the MyCity platform?
That's a very important point indeed. MyCity is, on the one hand, as I said before, designed in a very modular, but also in a standardized way. But this standardization doesn't mean that we are losing flexibility towards the client. What we are offering is, as I said, a very close cooperation with our launching customers, lighthouse customers, as well as with our clients out there, to really get a well understanding about their requirements, and also then being flexible with our delivery teams in the regions in order to fulfill the client's individual needs.
Fine. There is a question coming in. Are you able to provide value to the people if the system is not deployed in the cloud?
Clearly, yes, because we see that there is still a lot of customers that are demanding for a system being deployed on-prem. And this is also what MyCity is prepared for, that we still have the choice to say, hey, there is a requirement to deploy it on the existing premises of a client, but also having the flexibility for smaller cities, for instance, or other customer segments that don't have a big pocket of investment money available to say, we host this for this client in the cloud, we take over the technical operations because probably this capability is not there locally. So we have the full flexibility from hosting it on our premises on cloud, but also having it deployed on the client's premises directly.
So I understand that in developing MyCity, you are looking into the flexibility at its utmost degree in the end. Yeah. So that's yeah. Mm-hmm. Another question: does MyCity utilize machine learning and AI, artificial intelligence?
This is clearly a trend that we are also following with MyCity. So looking on what we are doing with the strategy manager, we have to digest a big chunk of data that we are getting in from different subsystems, from different sensors, that we need to normalize, harmonize, also aggregate. And this is also where technologies like AI and machine learning kick in.
Mm-hmm. There is a question related to the sensor capabilities of MyCity. Will MyCity be able to categorize traffic?
So the categorization of traffic usually happens on the sensor actor level on its own. But what we are also considering is that if we are taking over, for instance, video streams, that we can also use this for categorization of traffic. Yeah. So on both sides, this capability will be available clearly.
Very good. So please continue to bombard us with your questions. We are happy to answer them so that you get a deeper insight into MyCity. In the meantime, another question from my side, Christoph. You know that the age of transformation will also implicate autonomous or automated driving. Will MyCity support automated driving and autonomous vehicles in the future?
On the long run, clearly yes. But until we get there, we start now with clear use cases when it comes to connected driving. So supporting time to green and closer is the first level use cases that we are tackling now. But this is also the starting point then to also integrate and add more sophisticated use cases as we move along.
Mm-hmm. We are planning to deploy a central system like this in our city district. Can you please provide any pricing information? Shall we prepare for a subscription or a fixed license price?
So ideally, in this case, I would say we would be more than happy if you get in direct contact with us, so we can really look on your individual requirements and then we can come up with a good recommendation. I'm for sure about that.
Fine. Yes, pricing is always an issue. It's an interesting information, but everything depends on the size of the system in the end, on the components and software parts you are integrating. Another question: how does OptiPark fit into the overall MyCity strategy?
So OptiPark is actually treated as a subsystem of MyCity that we connect to the MyCity ecosystem. And so also the client can unleash the full potential of OptiPark as well as of MyCity.
Okay. Yeah, we are still happy to answer your questions. I have to wait for a moment. We mentioned this before in our talk. There is the possibility to sign up as a lighthouse customer or strategic integration partner for the MyCity software platform. You will find the link to this registration part beneath the chat, beneath the Vimeo function you see on the screen now. So it's all on our website. If you are interested to have a closer relationship with us in terms of MyCity, then feel free to utter your interest via this function on our website. In which countries will MyCity be available?
So actually MyCity is designed as a global product. So we have the first deployment now with our cloud solution in the DACH region. And we are also starting further deployments across Europe. But there will also be one hub for the US region as well as for other regions. So actually it's available all across the globe where there is customers asking for it.
Yeah, if there had been an ITS World Congress in Los Angeles this year, we would have talked about MyCity there as well, of course. But there will be digital formats now as a replacement. And for sure, our friends from McCain in California will address the topic also in the States then. How easy is it to upgrade to MyCity from existing control software?
I would say it really depends. And we need to look at this on a case-to-case basis. But basically, MyCity is prepared in a way that it's supporting all the controller, all the roadside equipment that is usually out there in the field and that we already had to support in the past. So this should really pave the way for an easy upgrade.
Mm-hmm. Language compatibility is also a topic. Is MyCity available in multiple languages?
Indeed it is. So MyCity is very open for any different languages. So it's just a matter of a localization package that we need to add, a translation that somebody capable needs to do, and we integrate it in MyCity and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm. Fine. So SWARCO is multilingual and so will be MyCity and is MyCity. Yeah. Fine. Any more questions from your side? Please feel free to send us your chat. There is a little bit of silence at the moment. Let's give our listeners a few more seconds to type in the next question. So for sure this will not be the last innovation talk that will be done on the MyCity topic. We will do more specific webinars in the future, I assume. There is a question, how scalable will the platform be?
So the platform is actually fully scalable from, as I said earlier, from a very minor installation with a couple of intersections connected or VMSs connected to monitor them up to a full-blown smart city system. This is also the reason why we were aiming for this microservice-oriented architecture that is allowing us to openly scale it.
Yeah. And there was a second part of the question, mainly in case of the on-premise solution. So I assume there is no difference between the on-premise solution and the cloud solution in the end.
Technically, no.
Okay. Fine. Yeah. Any more comments, questions from your side? Please feel free. There's something coming in. Will all the capabilities of the current applications, for example, OptiPark PGS, Parking Guidance System, be included in MyCity?
This is for sure the goal. So what we are doing is also looking on legacy products on the installed base, no matter if it's a product from SWARCO, if it's products from competition, to really understand what are the strengths, what are the benefits of those products. And this we also would like to incorporate into MyCity then.
Mm-hmm. Fine. Is it possible to integrate third-party software packages such as Visim, Epix, Balance? In
general, yes. As I said earlier, the platform is is designed in an open way, so it's also supposed to be integrated with such products. And we are also implementing the standard interfaces that are out on the market in order to support them. If there is a specific product, it's also doable, but also a matter of R&D investment that we need to undertake then. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, anything is possible.
Again, flexibility. Anything is possible. That's our philosophy. Any more questions from your side? Please send us some. So integration of any device is possible with your cooperation with you into the MyCity. Integration of any device is possible with your cooperation into MyCity?
Clearly, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Can MyCity integrate historical data available in city databases?
Again, I think it's just a matter of the migration strategy and the migration plan that we jointly elaborate with our clients. We need to have a closer look at this, and for sure it's doable.
Yeah. Again, a question concerning the integration. Is the integration done by SWARCO or the customer's IT department?
So today, the integration is done by our regional feature teams. Yeah. So they are teaming up with the client, as I said earlier, try to clearly understand the scope, understand the requirements, and also determine the integration plan then.
Can MyCity be opened on mobile devices such as tablets or phones?
Yeah, absolutely. So MyCity is designed in a way that you can use whatever device you are choosing. We also had it in the inserts, I think, earlier, where you could also see that you can open MyCity either on your big city operator screen down to your mobile phone. Mm-hmm. So it's all done in a clearly responsive design.
Yeah. Will MyCity be based on more customer-centric requirements and not just developments of legacy features?
The approach that we are taking is clearly customer-centric. But customer-centric doesn't mean that we are neglecting the installed base that is out there. Because we are well aware as an expert in this field that the lifetime of the installed base is a quite long one. And therefore, we also need to integrate the legacy devices that are installed as of today. Mm-hmm. And for these reasons, we are also supporting standard interfaces like NTCP, like OCIT, and other different de facto standards from various markets in order to accomplish that.
Mm-hmm. A question that has to do with money. Do you charge strategic partners for contribution in the integration costs?
Not foreseen, no.
This is not the case, yeah. Will MyCity have a report editor so as to be able to create reports based on customers' requirements?
So there are two different feature sets that go into this direction. One is MyCity Analyze, where a reporting suite is going to be integrated. Mm-hmm. And the other comes along with MyCity Monitor, where we already today can report back on how is the liveness of the installed base, for instance.
So now the questions are coming in. Thank you very much for your interest in this topic. Are citizens using the same login as traffic operations?
Clearly no. So primarily the system is designed for a city operator, yeah, and not for an end client as of today. But anyway, it's also designed in a way that we can set up different personas, different user groups with different access rights. So therefore, we also can provide different possibilities how a client or also a tenant at the end of the day for his organization can decide which different personas and user groups he wants to set up and which access levels to grant.
Yeah. Yeah, there are two questions about the same topic, basically. which is the security of the system and the security against the increasing threats of cyber criminality. So,
now that's actually a great question, because the more you put into the cloud infrastructure, the more important cybersecurity gets, as I mentioned earlier. And what we are doing in this respect is we started when we were setting up the solution center at the very early stage to also certify the organization for ISO 27000, which is the standard security certification out on the market. And we also did in the very early days a first security audit for the architecture, and we are also doing this constantly now. Yeah. So on a every half a year we have a major audit, and in the meantime there is also minor audits in order to accomplish the security requirements.
One of our listeners is asking, may I ask you to talk a little about MyCity Connect? Is it able to manage V2X devices? If so, is it interoperable with other vendors' devices?
MyCity Connect is the feature bundle of MyCity that is supporting connected driving, as I said earlier. And today it's about primarily a high-res message broker architectural solution that is supporting bringing the messages from the car, from the infrastructure into this central system, and the other way around. Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, dear business partners and friends of SWARCO, dear colleagues, thank you very much for joining our third innovation talk. It's a series, as we said, of several webinars over the coming months. I cordially thank Christoph Stögerer for his availability and the explanations concerning the new traffic management platform, MyCity. Christoph, I think you would like to extend a thank you also to Berlin, or to your team.
The big thank you I also wanted to raise at this point is to all the teams in SWARCO that are keeping the lights on even at night and going the extra mile in order to deliver MyCity to our clients. So thank you very much indeed.
Very good. And I also would like to add a thank you. I would like to thank my colleagues Christoph Braxmarer and Benjamin Steiner, who are at the director's seat here in the traffic world and who are making sure that the webinar works out technically fine. We hope that you enjoyed our webinar and got new insights into SWARCO's competencies and capabilities. The questions we were not able to answer, or if you later on still have questions, you can still do that. Please send us an email to the address innovationtalks@swarco.com, Innovation Talks in one word, @swarco.com, and then we will come back to you in a speedy time to answer your question. Already now I can announce the next SWARCO Innovation Talk we are working on. It's on the 8th of September at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. The topic will be road markings in the age of automated driving. So this is quite an interesting and future-oriented topic as well. I will then meet my colleague Harald Mosböck from SWARCO's Road Markings Systems Division. And for more details on this talk, then please consult our website under www.swarco.com. We look forward to welcoming you then again. And for now, all the best, stay safe, and goodbye.